The human brain processes pleasure and pain within the exact same space. Every high and every low is managed by a single neural pathway that must constantly negotiate between these two extremes. We live in a world designed for total comfort and immediate reward, yet clinical depression and anxiety are reaching record levels. Our biological settings are clashing with our modern environment. These warning labels represent the peak of chemical hyperstimulation. Constant exposure to extreme chemical inputs forces the brain to adapt, establishing a new, artificially high standard for what counts as a reward. Digital stimuli provide an equally potent flood of reward, but with even less friction. Since the early days of the internet, we have been able to access intense stimulation in a fraction of a second, bypassing the physical energy our ancestors once had to expend to survive. This creates a hot fudge sundae effect. If your brain is conditioned on intense, high dopamine rewards, everyday interactions begin to feel overwhelmingly dull. Next to a screen or a pill, a quiet walk or a conversation simply lacks the density to register as pleasure. Dopamine is the primary molecule of pursuit and motivation. It maintains a constant tonic baseline in the brain, functioning as the engine that drives us toward a goal, rather than just a simple reward for reaching it. A chronic lack of motivation or joy is a measurable neurological symptom. When the pleasure-pain baseline is broken, the brain loses its physical capacity to process the subtle satisfaction of real life. This diagram shows the pleasure-pain balance as a seesaw seeking a steady baseline. A rewarding behavior causes a massive dopamine spike, tilting it sharply toward pleasure. The brain immediately counters this by pushing down on the pain side, dragging the scale into a deficit zone. This biological countertilt is the come down. It creates the immediate, anxious craving to scroll one more time or take one more hit, purely to escape the weight the brain has placed on the pain side. Trying to fix this low by adding more of the stimulus forces the brain to push back even harder. This triggers a vicious cycle where the lows become deeper and more punishing with every attempt to get high. To defend itself against chronic dopamine floods, the brain begins physically downregulating or killing off its own dopamine receptors. This receptor die-off breaks the brain's ability to find balance. The hinge breaks, leaving the scale jammed permanently on the pain side. In this dopamine deficit state, the world feels gray. Defining symptoms include severe anxiety, chronic irritability, and anhedonia, the total inability to feel joy from anything at all. Severe addiction is reflexive. In this state, relapse functions like scratching an itch while fast asleep, an unconscious survival instinct designed to escape the agony of a broken baseline. A person in a full deficit state is no longer using to get high. They are consuming out of a desperate need to feel normal for a few minutes before the weight of the pain side returns. Once the brain's circuitry has been physically altered, moderation becomes neurologically impossible. The hardware required to just cut back has been dismantled by the addiction itself. Neural recovery requires a clinical intervention, a strict 30-day fast from all high-reward behaviors. The first 2 weeks are difficult. Because the brain is still chemically weighted toward pain, you can expect acute discomfort, periods of high anxiety, and constant impulsive behavior. Week 3 is the biological turning point. As the brain's surviving dopamine receptors begin to upregulate, natural baseline production starts to physically regrow, bringing the scale back toward neutral. By week 4, homeostasis is restored. The brain regains the flexibility to derive genuine pleasure from subtle activities, like the taste of a good cup of coffee or the feeling of a morning walk. The goal of this reset is to regain biological resilience. Restoring the balance allows the brain to experience both joy and distress without shattering the underlying mechanism. Sustainable happiness is built on resilience, not the avoidance of pain. By repairing our biological scale, we regain the ability to find profound meaning in the simple, quiet reality of our lives.